Welcome back to Everlasting Summer, Part 22. We just ditched Miku because I don't want to clean with Miku. I mean, I do, but my character doesn't. I like Miku. I like her name. I like saying her name, Miku. Alright. There's quite a bit of time until lunch, so I decided to go for a walk. I picked a random direction which could be explained by the single word, forward. In the end, I found myself at the square. It's like the hub. This wasn't a surprise, as the monument of Genda appeared to be the central... give up. The central hub of this camp, and kind of a kilometer... and a kind of kilometer zero. Kilometer zero, as in... everything's like a kilometer away from it, and it always comes back to here. I don't know. I sat on the bench and started to think. 4 days have passed, and I haven't gotten even an inch closer to working out how I got here. It's true that quite a few strange things happened during this time, but almost every one of them can be explained logically after careful thinking. Every single one of them could have happened in normal life. Normal life. This term lost its original meaning to me. To me here. Reactions to the environment, the actions and words of other people, or my own words, indeed, none of this here is normal. In the past 4 days, my worldview has taken a series of painful punches to the stomach and uppercuts, which led it to being, if not knocked out, then seriously knocked down. Sometimes I don't understand why I act one way or another, or the other, or say some things. Actually, I do understand, but not straight away. Such afterthoughts, however, don't help me to act differently, more sanely, and appropriate to the situation at all. Moments of truth happening to me are becoming more and more rare. If my only wish during the first day was getting out of here, then now my main concerns are where to find food, how to avoid lineup in the morning, and what to say to Olga if Elisa complains about me. And those things are truly important to me. And day after day, daily fuss like this overshadows the thoughts in my head about how the world around me, together with this camp and these girls, are completely abnormal. But I can't do anything about myself. Because I just forget. In the same way we breathe without thinking about it, I am joining in the everyday life of the local inhabitants more and more without realizing it. I'm steadily becoming an average pioneer. No. This is wrong. I shouted loud and slapped my face a few times. All of a sudden the bell sounded, calling the pioneer... All of a sudden the bell sounded. It feels right. Calling the pioneers for lunch came from the loudspeakers. Oh, the bell sounded. Okay, read the full sentence before you make your mind. Finally! I ran, skipping along the canteen, leaving my inspiring thoughts back at the square, where they could sound interesting to Genda alone, and only if he was alive. The day had just started, and I'd gone through so many things already. But I did it. Now have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Am I still barefoot? Today I wasn't last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me, as I don't eat fish in any form, and hence will get fewer calories than usual. No skip? Soon Slavia and Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Yes, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Aw, please. I was in an excellent mood at that moment. Didn't pull out the chair for Lena, now did you, dick? Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me, and continued for some time, but then, after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. I gave her an honest answer, as indeed I had no plans. Except for searching for answers, but that was more like a global goal. Squirrel in my throat, I think is the term there. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. Right! She didn't even ask me to... Olga didn't even ask me to make to get the ingredients today. Cool. For what? Olga asked us to gather some strawberries. There are a lot of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. I can imagine the taste without even eating it, just by looking at Slavia's face. I gotta put the berry up again. Strawberries. What are those for? I don't know, But it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. Within minutes, we were already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really. But they're tasty. Lena smiled. Even without doing anything for Lena's route, I think she likes me. So she smiles every time I acknowledge her existence. I like seeing Lena smile. I'm gonna like her route. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavia didn't come back, we could probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Skip. No. No. Slavia handed me a basket. It's a small island. Blah, 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 blah. Split up. You know who I'm splitting up with. I'm going with Slavia. How are we going to split up then? It's like it's telling me, go with Slavia, dude. Just go with Slavia. I think at this point I could do nothing with Slavia's route anymore and I'd have the good ending, but we're going to continue it, of course. Didn't want to walk here alone and hoped that Slavia would join me, but I couldn't bring myself to ask. Yep, red, red, red. Red Dead Redemption. The reaping has commenced. The strawberries were delicious here, indeed. I don't think this music played last time. I like it. I like all the music in this game, but like this orchestra stuff I really enjoy. Okay, let's go. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to the garden ones in size, and had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Slavia was walking right beside me, as we only had one basket. What do you want, phone? Nothing interesting. I felt like a mushroom picker, looking under every shrub and searching through the grass carefully. Pay attention. An entire bunch of strawberries had been left behind. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It's fine. You must enjoy being here, don't you? You like nature, after all. Of course I do. Slavia smiled. It reminds me of my home. We have similar beautiful birches there. She gazed dreamily somewhere into the distance. We read this. Read. I'm just gonna skip this entire scene. No. No. Wait, did it stop me? I wonder if I hold down enter if it'll stop me automatically on text I haven't seen before. Like the skip button, but holding it down. Lena wasn't there yet. She'll need more time to fill and ask about herself. Yep. No. Great, now we can go back. Wait, was Slavia sad? Yeah, see you again thing. We already seen that. Well, they're both like mad at me. I don't understand why Slavia's mad at me. She's just stubborn like that, but what did I do, Lena? You have something else to do? Yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. No thanks to the girls. You. Oh, whoa! I managed to get up and enter the cabin. There's no way there. If you don't need them, it's up to you. I lay down on the deck chair and fell asleep. I had a weird dream about a strawberry race. I was rowing a boat with my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge berries that were chasing me. My hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. That needs an extra R, but whatever. But wait. Strawberries with teeth? Semyon! Semyon! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Ah, thanks to the girls. Hell. It just says thanks to the girls. It's actually there's more than just more than one word. Yep. Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. That nightmarish strawberries. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of them. Skip. Yeast and flour, yeah, I guess we're gonna get those. Whoop. And she leaves us here. Alright, we'll go to the clubhouse first. I think Slavia saves our ass here, so I can't remember. Feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. You've done... Actually, yeah. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd even forgotten about how awkward it must look for sugar. It must be to look for sugar there. Shirk and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. We're still not sure if this needs to be censored. I mean, there's no tits, and you're not supposed to show the tit on YouTube, so I guess it's fine. Shirk and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of robot, or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such a device for luminaries of Camp Cybernetics. I think they built this in 5 days to 12 days. Not bad. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about this robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. Workable to do what? But they seem to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the one hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys, I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but, well, never mind, it's okay. What brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in a right moment. Sugar? I need sugar. I mentioned from an ancient video game suddenly came to my mind, where some kind of unit like a builder or something cried out with all of its 5-pixel stature. 8-pixel stature, thank you very much. Gold! We need more gold! We got it, said Electronic calmly. Why would you want it? I felt that I shouldn't explain to Shirk that they were to bake a cake for him. Shouldn't spoil the surprise. I don't know. Olga told me to get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do you have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload. I just realized I started doing Shark's voice without even realizing I didn't even look. But I was right. And given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here and to save some effort. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. Skip? I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. Where would we put it? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. Seems that that previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand at the robot. I wish that robot would get finished. It seems cool. I have a thing for robots and AI. I gazed at Shark. He owed me after all. He hesitated, then looked away in shame. I sighed, took the bag, and headed to the door. Thanks anyway, I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after a mere 20 meters, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On the one hand, it's just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, Even such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, or alternatively in my hands, or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. And as I resigned myself to move in minor sprints, with prolonged pauses between them, so I could get there by night at least, I heard a voice behind me. Maybe I could help you. Skip. We get the handcart. Meow. Meow. And she smiled, like, open mouth smile, like, yay! Like the first time ever. I thought that it would be better if I get all the ingredients at once, so I headed to Olga's cabin with the handcart. Why would you head to her cabin to get all the ingredients at once? There's no ingredients in her cabin. Go to the infirmary and do the male-female voice. The female's male voice. I feel like I visited the infirmary too often recently. Not today. But what can I do? That's how things pan out. I sighed and knocked on the door. Viola? When did I learn her name? Come in. The nurse said with a trace of sing-song accent. Come in. I don't know how to do sing-song accent. Good afternoon. Olga sent me to get some... I hesitated slightly. Yeast. Ah, sure. She gave me a broad smile. It's just that I don't have any. Pioneer. How so? She said that... I'm surprised this isn't a route. Well, I had some, but now there's none left. Didn't even bother asking why she had it in the first place. Well, don't you worry. You can have some aspirin, for example. That could be of some use to me, actually. Where do I get it, then? I sighed. Take this. She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of bottle. Oh, the cheap beer thing. I took a closer look. It was Ostenkinsko. Ostenkinsko. It was beer. What's the matter? Beer is also a fermented product. She gave me a deep gaze. Nobody will even notice. She had a point, but everything just looked so grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. Are you sure? She's trying to drunk me up. Liquor me up. Absolutely. Okay then. The bottle clearly wouldn't fit into the pocket of my shorts. Well, thanks. I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Well, beer certainly could replace the yeast. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology was enough to accept this, but... Skip. Oh shit. Oh shit. Everything would have been fine, but Slavia called out to me at the square. Actually, she sprang up from behind me, so suddenly that I even gave a start. How's it going? What exactly? Your search for ingredients. Ah, so you know already. Apparently I've already seen this, but whatever. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going alright, I answered, trying not to give away my unrest. And what do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from under my shirt. This? She got me. It's nothing. I blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. I was almost running, leaving the square with the puzzled Slavia behind. It's great that she is not one of those. She's one of those people who don't ask unnecessary questions. But there are people in this camp who like nothing better than to poke their noses into other people's business. Passing the pioneers' cabins, I stumbled upon Lena. Oh yeah, this joke. What are you hiding there? Oh my god. High-pitched little girls' voices. Well, apparently she has a route and everyone's over 18, so... She gave me one of her cheeky looks. I thought there was no point in denying anything, so I replied in a provocative manner. It's none of your business. I'm a cipher officer bearing a message to headquarters. That's certainly a big... message. Didn't she say package last time? I was carrying the bottle at waist height, so I was slightly embarrassed. You want some help? I'll deal with it on my own. Can you help me with my message? Our route is the fourth one, so we'll see how that goes. I walked past her confidently and proceeded my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything or skip. going to the library. Which, we've seen everything, so skip. No. No. We'll stand guard. No. Stick out the heavy, blah blah blah. No. Wait. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You've seen the cake thing. And that's probably Yulia. Dinner still half an hour away. Oh. I fell asleep. I think we've also already seen this. Yep. No. As much as I like talking with Miku. Okay, wait, what? Why am I angry now? I think this is the first time in the last 4.5 days when I felt like this. I wasn't just irritated because of some insignificant details, but indeed, I really was angry. I completely stopped caring. Well, we've seen this. Skip. What? Who are you angry with? How does she know I'm angry? Skip. No. Hey, are you alright? I'm fine. I replied without changing my position. Just tired? Yeah, a little. That's bad. Slavia said it seriously. Of course. You remember they're going for the hike after the dinner, don't you? Have you prepared everything? Wait, where? I opened my eyes and lifted my head up instantly. Lena was standing by Slavia. The hike? She was surprised. Didn't you know? Yep. Skip. Wait, what about the cake thing? Ah, that's happening right now. I'm still saying, this looks a little wrong. Skip. No. I started making that noise like every time I skip, so. Yep, colors thing, we've already seen that. Skip. Only one without a partner, they make us. Wait. Was Slavia? So yeah, I'm gonna end up with Xenia again. Yep. Xenia. Okay. Scene. Xenia gets pissed at me because Xenia. Oh. Thinking about Slavia sat next to me. I'm nothing special, just enjoying the hike. I answered sarcastically. You don't look too happy. Well, I'm not about to jump for joy. Sorry about that. Okay, I won't disturb you. And she leaves. Alright, so let's see. Do nothing, just keep sitting. And then try to find Slavia. All I was doing was just watching the fire. There is a saying that claims that one could watch it forever, as well as running water. But there was also some third thing here. What was that? One could watch 3 things forever: burning fire, running water, and how other people work. The camp leader pulled me out of my daydreaming. My mind is hooked up to the hive mind of this world. Semyon, don't you think that it's too early to relax? What else what I need to do? I honestly couldn't get what Olga wanted from me. I don't know. She stopped for a moment. But if there is something to be done, then do it without hesitation. She smiled ambiguously and went back to the fire to throw a few branches on. After those words, I am completely sure that she treats me like a personal slave. Or at least like I'm a free labor force, which is, strictly speaking, the same thing. I sighed and put my head down on my hands, hoping my torments would be over for today. Someone patted me on the shoulder. I looked up and saw Shuriken Electronic, who sat next to me. What do you want? I asked tiredly. Don't be sad. Is there anything better to do? Look, we've been discussing the possibilities for the advancement of the Cybernetics Club with Olga. There's a problem. We need more guys. If you could... He hesitated. Advancement, and those guys are incompatible with each other. Advancement and those guys are there's a comma, that's fine. There's supposed to be a comma there. And those guys are incompatible with each other. I said nothing and started to look over the pioneers around me instead. Well, I don't have time. Can't you see that I'm always busy with the camp leader's errands? Yeah, I guess you're right. It's kind of embarrassing how it all went today with Ilyana. I looked at him with surprise. Seems that Shirk blames himself for that cake accident. Yeah, it is. All the pioneers seem to be here, but I couldn't spot Slavia anywhere. I think she's angry with me. Who? I asked absently. Ilyana. Maybe I should apologize? No, it's not your fault. I sat silently for a while and then I stood up and said... What did I say? Thought I heard my cat in here. My legs are numb. I better take a walk. They made no reply. I made a few circles around our improvised camp, noticing the close looks of the camp leader following me. Looks like Olga couldn't wait to come up with some kind of new task for me. I haven't found Slavia anywhere. Maybe I should go and try and find her. On the other hand, I felt sorry for Ilyana every time I recalled her upset face. Maybe this hike isn't the most entertaining thing ever, but sitting there all alone isn't any better. And at the same time, I didn't want to go anywhere. Try to find Slavia. So that's what it says. I'm really interested in where Slavia is gone. Though I also wanted to leave this place as fast as possible and, if not to finally lie down to sleep, then at the very least to spend some time alone, away from all these pioneers and Olga who just couldn't wait to occupy me with something again. I picked a good moment and fled into the forest. Night had fallen onto the camp. An absolutely normal and unremarkable night. One of those nights when the dark sky, stars, or crescent moon don't trigger any special emotions, when the crickets chirping and the singing of nightbirds seemed more like an everyday routine than a nocturnal chorus. I wandered around the forest with no special purpose, trying not to get too far from the camp. After all, there was a chance to meet Ilyana out there, and that natural disaster would probably be even worse than the camp leader. I sat down on a fallen tree and started thinking. Why is this all happening to me? Why do I keep getting myself into foolish situations, every time and everywhere? Even having suddenly appeared in a weird pioneer camp in the middle of nowhere, I don't get to become a subject in an experiment, a victim of a sick cosmic mind, or a participant in an intergalactic war on the side of a group of suicide-prone pacifists, like a regular hero of science fiction. No, I get to hide in a night forest from a raving camp leader and her workhorse pioneers. The stars in the sky were shining brightly. Perhaps they give their light not only to me in this camp, but also shine on the city where I was born and where my old home is. It was as if a pain settled in my chest. I envisioned my old flat clearly, and a detestable burning started making its way from my stomach to my throat. No, it was not wistfulness. More like a sad reminiscence. Because despite all that's happened, I felt more alive in less than 5 days here than I had for the last several years there. Now I really wasn't sure if I wanted to get back. Only one question still ate at me: how and why I ended up here. It flared up yet again in my mind. I haven't spent much time seeking answers or even just thinking about my situation lately. My thoughts were occupied with everyday routine affairs. And now, in order to break away and be able to wish to stay here for good, I need to understand the nature of this place. It's just that even a nightingale in a golden cage has a right to know how and by whose will he got in there. And after that, to make the choice whether to stay or not. Probably I would have been lost in my existential thoughts for a long time, but I heard voices approaching, Olga and the pioneers. Looks like they're proceeding with their hike. I headed to the camp at a fast pace. I have no desire to go back to the camp leader's cabin because I would surely be scolded, and just waiting for it is much worse. Soon enough I arrived at the beach, and I wasn't alone here. A pioneer uniform was lying on the sand. A girl's one. But no one seemed to be swimming in the water. I almost thought it was some new devilry when suddenly a voice came from behind. Skipping out on the hike? I thought you were still in the woods. Oh, okay. When she showed up, I was like, wait, I thought this game was actually censored. I turned around and saw Slava in a bikini. Sorry, I guess I interrupted you. That's okay. I'm almost done. Why did you decide to have a swim during the night? Oh, well, is it prohibited? She smiled. Well, no. It's just... Won't Olga mind you leaving early? But you did the same. Slava gave me a quick glance. Yeah, I did. We'll see where this leads in the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.